I bow to all the seekers of truth. I have told you many a times that truth is what it is. You cannot change it, you cannot transform it, you cannot sell it. This is very important to understand in America, that you cannot sell the truth. Also, unfortunately, at the human awareness, you cannot know the absolute truth. If we had known the absolute truth, there would have been no problems, no wars, no fights, no arguments. All the evil thing would disappear in the light of the truth. But truth is pure love, pure compassion. And the truth is that you are not this body, mind, emotions, your ego, but is the pure spirit. You need not believe me, again I would request you, because we have had lots of trouble with blind faith. If you experience the truth, then you have to believe if you are honest, because it is for your benevolence, for the benevolence of the families, the benevolence of your country and the whole world. As I said, truth is what it is. The second truth is, when you see these flowers, we take them for granted. And we don't even think that it's a miracle. Who does all this living work? A doctor, if you ask him who runs your heart, he will say it's autonomous nervous system. But who is the auto? They can't answer that question. Thus, we have to open our minds to the fact that there must be some power which does all these miraculous things so gracefully. Flowers you see on the tree, we can't see it growing, we can't see it opening, we can't see it becoming a fruit. If you put a camera at a very low speed, maybe you might get the picture of it. But with your eyes, you cannot see the beautiful, delicate work of the nature. This nature, we think is separate from us, and we are something different, is not a fact. We are part and parcel of this nature. We are part and of the whole. Every person sitting here is a part and parcel of all the people of the world. This only is possible if you have the experience of the Spirit. In those days of science, one cannot talk of God Almighty. They cannot digest it. Give it any name. But there is some power that does all these things. And this is the power you have to feel. You have to feel first time this power, on your fingertips, on your central nervous system. This is being described in the Vedas also. Veda comes from the word Vida. Vida is to know. Know on your central nervous system. Not reading, not remembering by heart, not by chanting. But you have to know the truth on the central nervous system. Another word which we know very clearly is Buddha, from Buddha word as well. Bodh comes from the word Bodha. Bodh also means the same thing, that you have to know it on your central nervous system, the truth. The truth that there is an all-pervading divine power that does all these miraculous things. And this divine power is of pure love. If you understand this much, that this power is nothing but pure love, then we'll give up all the ideas of seeking powers of different types, but we'll seek this power of pure love because it is all-pervading. It acts so slowly, it works out so delicately, and it understands everything. It knows everything, and it works out much faster than any other thing you know about. And just like we have to have a receptor, a television, say for example. In the same way, if we become the receptor of this great power, we are enlightened. We have the light to see what's wrong with us, what's wrong with our society, what's wrong with the progress of humanity. So you are all here to seek the truth. But genuinely to seek the truth, you must know that you can't pay for it. It is a simple thing like an evolutionary process. This, like the flowers, have to become the fruit. An egg has to become the bird. In the same way you are seeking, you have to become that higher being, that superior being, that special being which is enlightened. But it's not just you certify yourself that you are a person who is born again. These certificates are not going to work out. If you are satisfied with these certificates, then let it be, it doesn't matter. But those who are not certified with these certificates have to know that they have to become. Becoming is the point. Of course, as you have been explained, these chakras are there and 3 channels are there, no doubt about it. And there's much more. But even knowing this, what's the use? You'll be amazed that at least 3,000 years back, in a place near Bolivia, far-fetched, there were people who were knowledgeable about it. And the knowledge passed through even till today. It is there that they know there are chakras, there are 3 channels, there's kundalini. But they don't know how to raise it. That's the only point. They are not to be told anything. They know it is there, and anybody who can do it very fast. And thus we have got many, many people in Bolivia who have got their realization in such a short time. I have not been there, but somebody who went there. Another thing I discovered was in Kiev, which is the capital, capital of Ukraine. They told me that we have all this knowledge with us because two great saints came from India. I couldn't believe my ears. Went to the museum and saw all the chakras drawn, all kundalini drawn all over, and even on the pots and pans they had created out of their terracotta, which they made with their own hands. And this was also 2000 before Christ. I don't know, that's what they said, but about it. They told me the name of the saints who came from India. I'm very amazed. Machindranath and Gorakhnath. I was really amazed how they knew the names of these people. And they talked of the primordial mother as the Aditi, as we call it in Sanskrit language. So this knowledge was known to them. And maybe in so many other countries, maybe, you might be able to find this knowledge. This is your inner being, created to get your second birth. Kundalini is your own mother. She's your individual mother who knows all about you, about your past and about your aspirations. And she's waiting all these years to give you your second birth. You must have read about Kundalini also, because I know Americans go on reading everything that comes by. And there are horrible books written about it, which I have seen myself. That with the Kundalini you get heated up, you start jumping, you become mad, all kinds of things. I've never seen this happening. For the last now 25 years I've been going around. I've never seen anybody becoming mad, but if he's mad, he becomes better. So all such books are written and are easily digested. I don't know, whatever is written in black and white should be digested or not. So people were very frightened when I first time came to America, long time back. I think it was in 72 I came first. As soon as I started talking of Kundalini, they ran away. And I was amazed. How is it they don't want to listen to me about it? Then for 9 years I never came. Because they were impressed by such people that I said these are like children, immature. I can never talk to them. I gave up all hopes and I went away. In those 9 years, I traveled all over the world and lots of people came to Sahaja Yoga. Because Sahaja Yoga is only possible if you are genuinely seeking and you have intelligence enough to understand. And you have to have an open mind. Otherwise, it is a waste. Because the Kundalini has to be awakened. If she is not awakened, no use talking about it, about all kinds of things people talk.